Hello, class. This is the week 2 overview, and we're going to look at the checklist of tasks that you need to do this week. We're going to have a checklist like this every week, and there's different ways you can work with it. You can start off the week downloading this, printing it, and seeing what you have to do. And then at the end of the week, you can fill it all out and send it to me, and it'll give you an idea if you forgot anything or if there's a lot of time left over to move forward to week number 3 and maybe even week number 4. Let's take a quick look at what we have coming up here in week number 2. You'll see the checklist here. There's creating an account with Turnitin. It's going to take you maybe 10 minutes. Okay. Reading lecture content sections. Okay, there's quite a bit of lecture and content this week. So let's be really wild and say you're going to spend 2 hours. I don't really think you will. Probably most of you will spend half an hour. It depends on how fast you read and how much time you really want to put into understanding this material. Reading and discussing the sample essay about 2 stories. A really good idea if you spend some time doing that. Let's put a whole hour of time, budget an hour to do that. And that's because there's a discussion, and I want you to look at it and then in the discussion write down why you think the teacher liked it and what you think could be improved. And it'll also give you a model to emulate as you're working on your first essay about 2 stories. I have a bunch of generating exercises and exercises to help you with pre-writing. If you do these first, your essay is going to be so much easier to write. So maybe you spend a half an hour developing a thesis and thinking about your sub-arguments, another 20 minutes or so once you've got the thesis together. And if you read the sample essay, you'll see it has a really strong thesis and some really clear, easy to understand sub-arguments that kick off each section of that essay. It's good writing, and that's one of the reasons I like it, actually. Then I want you to create what's called an organizing cover page. We're going to have one of these for every one of the 4 essays that you write this semester. And at first it seems like a lot of work, but you'll see that if you put this form together, your essay is going to come together so easily. That's why I have you do it. In fact, I have you do this because it's a great technique that will help you in many classes beyond mine. If you kind of model this and put together a form similar to this for any class, not just English classes, but any class that has important writing assignments, you'll find that your papers are going to be more successful. So put some time into it. Maybe even a whole hour, because among other things, you're supposed to do some research and find some secondary source evidence that will support your sub-arguments. And that's all explained in the class. There's a quiz this week. Actually, there's 4 quizzes. So take all 4 of those quizzes. I really don't think it's going to take you that long. I'm going to budget 30 minutes, okay? You're going to start drafting your introduction for your short story essay, and maybe the whole essay, but certainly the introduction. I have some guidance on how to write a good introduction in the course. Let's put 30 entire minutes just to write that first paragraph. I doubt if many of you will. Reading your novel. Okay, let's put in another 3 hours of reading your novel. Maybe you've got a great novel and you just can't get away from it. Maybe you've already finished it. Who knows? It's just you couldn't put it down. But it's okay to put nothing there if you haven't read it, but I wouldn't put off doing it. It's summer school. We're already into week 2. We have to finish that novel so you have enough time to write about it. Read the chapter about revision and watch the video about revision, because revision is the key to good writing, and there's the discussion about that. This is from a television series that I produce for PBS television. I use it with my English 1A courses, and it's actually been used by thousands of teachers around the country. So you might be surprised that your own teacher at Shasta College produced a video like this. Let's say you spend a whole hour. The video is only 25 minutes long, but you want to read the chapter that goes with it, and you want to take part in the discussion. And I want you to think about the process of revision, because that's going to be a key to succeeding in this course. You'll get feedback from me on your essays. if you haven't earned an A yet, you'll know exactly what you need to do to revise those essays. So revision's important. So we'll put a whole hour here for discussing revision. Reading ahead to week 3. If you add this all up, it's way less than 15 to 18 hours. And so I would suggest you move forward. If you think, oh, I got everything done in 5 hours this week, I'm cool, I'll just do nothing and procrastinate, the end of the semester is going to creep up on you really fast, and you're going to be sitting there in July going, oh no, I've got all this work to do, and I really don't want that to happen. So I would always recommend read ahead, okay? Spend some time. Be aware of when your essays are due. Your first essay is due Wednesday, June 23rd, but you can earn a 7-day extension of that essay due date if you work with the Writing Center on a final revision of whatever good draft you have. So don't feel like I'm going to give you a lower grade if you take the extension. Actually, I'll really respect that you're willing to revise, that you have a good first draft, but you're not satisfied with it. You want to get another set of eyes. And that's really what the Writing Center is all about, is another peer who will look at it and go, this is really good. You'll feel great. Or, you know, this is good, but how about this? And I know what Mr. Burko wants. And if you add a stronger secondary source, or if your thesis is just a little stronger, whatever they might suggest, it's not just about fixing punctuation and grammar mistakes. It's about truly revising, and you'll know what that means if you watch the program. So add up your total hours, write down some thoughts about what you learned this week. That's really important. If you write down some thoughts about character development, what is a character reveal? Did you learn that? What is, I don't know, what is the voice of the character? What is the voice of the author? Any of the things that you picked up from the lecture content area that you think are important? Write some ideas down. You know what? This will be really good when you get to the final exam, because you'll remember those ideas. Anything that I mentioned in the lecture content area is fair game on a final exam at the end of the semester. So fill out the form. Instead of taking attendance in the class where I call everybody's name off of a roll call sheet, you don't have to suffer through all of that. 5 minutes filling out this form. Send it to me as an attachment to an email. It can help you and I open up a dialogue. And if you say, Mr. Burko, you're way off. I spent more than 15, 20 hours a week on this stuff. I think your estimates are way lower for how much time it takes to do this work. I'll listen. If it turns out that my estimates are, right on, and that you have plenty of extra time, I would use that time to work ahead. I'm going to let you work as fast as you want in this class. It's asynchronous. That means you work at your own rate, okay? But your own rate does not include procrastination and putting things off. That's why I put these lists together, so you can go down the list and say, what do I need to do to succeed in this course? I hope that makes sense, and I'll see you next week, all right? Bye now.